Alright guys, I wanted to make a video about the ftdx 3000 SDR Uno and Omni rig. And I had gotten it working on something else, and I went to go switch to a smaller computer, this Dell 7050 Optiplex. Actually a newer, probably more efficient computer altogether. But I couldn't get this thing to work. And so I learned something in the process, and I figured it out. But it's kind of confusing. So let's make sure we got this all centered up on here. Okay, so let's go over here and we will start from the very, 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 very beginning. Let's close this. Okay. The problem getting this working is OmniRig. And OmniRig is very strange and quirky, from what I can tell. I think it's also, support has been discontinued. So if we go onto their website, I'll pull up my history here because I just downloaded it. Okay, history. Yeah. Okay, OmniRig 1.2. It was really not what we want. Let's just go here. OmniRig. Oops. My keyboard is in a really bad position because I don't have room. That's why I wanted to go to a smaller computer. This guy here has some interesting information about it. Pleased to offer you my new OmniRig 2.1 development with the following. Supports now up to 4 rigs. You can name the rigs with your own text. Important, the new OmniRig 2.1 is not compatible with the famous OmniRig version 1.19 or version 1.20 from Alex. Okay, and I think that's where the problem is. So, the new OmniRig 2.1 works only with programs that have been developed for it, i.e. Swisslog, HD SDR. OmniRig 2.1 does not work with ftdx, WSJTX, or other applications. So this one here, I believe, is the problem. And there's a couple of other things here. Can you run OmniRig 1.9 at the same time on the computer? Yes. However, OmniRig 1.19 and OmniRig 2.1 can run on the same computer at the same time. So using 2.1 with HD SDR version 2.8 and 2.1 for something or other with the IC 9700 and OmniRig 1.19 with my 7700 and Flex 6700 transceiver in order to use log something or other. You have to start OmniRig 2.1 first and then OmniRig 1.9 in order to have both OmniRig versions running at the same time on the same PC. This is really a bunch of crap. So I don't know. I think I might have downloaded his on accident. So if I look in my download history, downloads, client. Okay, so I don't think we accidentally downloaded his, but so the DX Atlas one is OmniRig, and you scroll down to here, you would click on where it says OmniRig client, And you would see that that's what I've already downloaded. So in the folder here, you see Omni Rig, and we need to remove that one. Well, I can't do anything with it. Okay, just go to downloads. Wouldn't let me delete it, huh? Oh, there. Okay. Yeah, that's 2.1. We don't want that. So when you click on client, you get this thing here. It looks kind of weird. I'm not going to click on it because this thing, like I said, is very, very touchy. So you go into here, you'll find it here if you don't create a shortcut. The other one creates a shortcut on your desktop, and that, I think, maybe is the problem. So Omni Rig version 2 is right here. And I believe we do not want that. I don't know how to get rid of it, but Omni Rig 1 is right here, and you click on it, and it'll pop up like that. And so you want the ftdx 3000, you want the enhanced COM port. And this is some of the things these guys don't talk about in their video. They just kind of gloss through it. But you want COM port 4. If you come in here, go click over here, right click, pull up Device Manager. Let's bring this over here where we can see it. We'll go click on ports and expand it. And you'll see right here, COM port 4 UART bridge enhanced. You want the enhanced one, whatever number it is. Okay. I don't know what the other port is. 1. I don't know if that's for anything to do with this, but 4 and 3 are for your radio. They're definitely from your radio. 3 will not work. Okay. So, where the hell did Omni Rig go? We got 4. It needs to be 3800. Everything else is going to be pretty much default. 8 data bits, parity none, stop bits 1, RTS high, DTR high, pull interval in milliseconds 500, timeout in milliseconds 4000. I've heard people changing that. I don't know. Now, one thing I did notice is I left this running. Okay, I just left it up like that. And then I came into SDR Play. I opened SDR Play. Okay, now, one of the things that they don't show you in the videos is you need to click here on Settings. And you'll click here. You'll see ORG. Look down here, and it says Connected to Omni Rig servers. You're good to go. If it doesn't say that, it's not going to work. Let me bring it in here so you can see it. You don't want to do anything here with that IF output frequency, but you can see there's a radio. It says it's online. And if you don't see that, then you're going to have to try this again. Okay? As simple as that. Now, we need to come over to the next one. I also need this RSYN box to be yellow. You need to check that box. So the other thing to check here is going to be, we'll close this one. This setting's on this one here. And scroll over to where it says ORG. Do not mess with the cat. Okay, you might check it to see, to make sure it's not enabled. Okay, you might check that it's not enabled. Because if it's enabled, you won't be able to get this to work. So the first 2 boxes should be checked, and the third should not, and then the last one should be checked. And you have rig 1 and 2. Okay, you need to make sure you're on the right one. If you're on the wrong one, with what's in Omni Rig, this won't work. You close that out. You've got this here. That needs to be yellow. Let's get this out of here. We'll click Start. Give it a little sound here. And let me pull back the camera so you can see the radio too. So there's the radio. All right. And if you watch the radio, you'll see. Where'd it go? I might have screwed it up. Trying to show you guys. That's interesting. So the radio's changing with Omni rig, but something's not quite right. So I'm on 5 megahertz band. There it goes. One thing you will notice is that the response between the radio to SDR Uno is a little slow, but the response the other way around is fast. So we have some people talking on 5 megahertz, guys. Pretty cool. Now, I can listen to them on my radio, or I can listen to them on there. 5.371.5. And then we can go and change our filters and things like that on here, which is really nice. Now, if you're using the receive output on the back of the radio, you're going through the front end of your radio. So if you were to turn off the radio, you won't have SDR play because you're cutting off the signal path because it's going through the front end of the radio. So, and if you manually tune the radio to a different band, it will affect the receive on SDR play. One thing that I know doesn't work correctly, you see, I just went to 80 meters on the radio. You see the signal degraded. I'm going to go to 160. It's going to get even worse. So the front end of the radio is tuned to 160, which is completely blocking out 5 megahertz. Go up to 4. And we went to 40. Now this radio here is not easy to jump to 5 megahertz with. So, but what happens here is you can't change the bands of SDR Uno with the radio's band button. It's just weird. So but now the radio is back to being able to change it from there. So if you're frustrated with this, you're just going to have to bear with it and figure out what you did wrong and make sure everything's set correctly. But it makes a really nice pan adapter for this radio. Let me go to an actual band that's good. So look at 40. 40 is on fire. Now normally what I do, I listen to my radio, I mute SDR play. So my ideal setup is this right here, where I have my ham clock and an equally large waterfall for my radio. And this is something that I just couldn't get achieved with my 710. The resolution of the output of the 710 is okay, but it's not anything like this. I wish that there was a few things I could change on SDR Uno, but SDR Uno is by far my favorite software for that. And I have an SDR Play, so why not use their software instead of trying to do it the hard way? I've used other SDRs, but not real low in the band. I've got an original RTL SDR that needs a converter to work down here. It'll go to like, I think, 20 meters maybe. So basically, it's totally good for above 20. And I can tell from using that and using this that this is a lot better. So, oh, it's so busy.
Whiskey Alpha 2, Oscar November Golf. Are you familiar with the Ladies Conversation Group, which isn't limited to just ladies? Are you familiar with our group yet? Over.
The ladies? There's so many wacky.
Say her call sign again, and what's her name?
Okay, so anyway,
I'm having a little hard.
Now let's have your LLM or a computer contact my computer. But I have a solution. It's a good question you raised, Andy, and I'm going to turn it over to Jeff in just a second. If you're worried about being able to have a language model that fits.
Maghanap muna ako anong for hapunan.
Now that's a CB radio in Spanish.
ftdx. Siguro to hear from you again na Melody. Take it, Melody. Know your full belt actually. QRL.
Holy moly. Breaker, breaker.
In the AIM window, Patty.
So anyway, I just use this. I use the mouse to point and click where I want, and it controls my radio. And I don't know if I can have this up while I do FT8. I have not tried that, but anyway, so I just hooked this computer up yesterday, and it's never been used, so I had to do a lot of updates, but it's a little tiny Dell over there. It's only a little bit bigger than my UPS. Whereas the old computer was huge, but I may put the old computer back in here anyways, because it doesn't really matter. I'm not gaining enough space to do anything. So, anyway, I can't think of anything else to really cover on here, but it was very frustrating, and I couldn't figure out what the hell I was doing wrong, so I think there might be some other software that could probably be used instead of OmniRig. I think maybe HamLib or something like that. And so I'm going to look into that because I really don't care for OmniRig, but it works for now.